Okay, so today we'll work on interactive ALV. In the previous session, we have created a ALV using structure and using field catalog. So by using field catalog, you can customize the output. You can change the column positions, you can change the header text, you can make one field as a key field, or you can emphasize one field, you can make it as a checkbox, right? You can add a hotspot. There are many more options available in field catalog. If you want to customize the output, you have to use field catalog, right? Today we'll see interactive reports. What do you mean by interactive report? Interactive report is like this. Report output 1. So here, so it will display first level ALV output. Let's assume this has S4 number, sales order number, and this is material. And this is some quantity. Let's take few values. 100, material 100, quantity is some 50. Now, this is first level ALV output, right? We display using reuse ALV grid display and it will display the output. Now, user might ask you to make it as an interactive report. What do you mean by interactive report? When he click on this sales order number in the output, this particular sales order number in the output, it should take them to VA02 or VA03. What are these transaction codes? Sales order change, sales order display, right? So when user click on
Okay, sir.
the sales order number, it should navigate to VA02 or VA03,
3. Sir.
so that user can update the details of the sales order, okay, in VA02, or he can just check details of the sales orders in VA03. Similarly, sales order 200, material 200, some material quantity some 70. Now, if user click on sales order number 200, what should happen? Again, it should take the user to the transaction codes VA02 or VA03.
3.
Depends on what we configure,
Yes, sir.
right? What he wanted to open. Now, let's assume user click on material number. Then what should happen?
To another,
It should take him to,
another,
what is the
another
transaction code
report.
for material master data? MM
A02,
02 or
MM02, MM03.
MM03, right?
Yes, sir.
If user click on material number,
Material
it
number,
should
it
open
will
the transaction code MM02 or
MM03.
MM03. This is one type of interactive report, opening the standard transaction codes. Let's assume user click on the material number and the first level report is purchase orders, sorry, sales orders, right?
Yes,
The
sir.
first level report is the sales orders and their corresponding materials and the quantity. Now, for example, user click on material number 101. Then what's my requirement is in a different report, it should display next level report, and in that report, it will display all the purchase orders created for that material
Material number.
and the corresponding
Oh,
quantity or any other fields. Here you might have different fields in the second level report,
okay, sir.
right? Similarly, if user click on purchase order number, if user click on purchase order number, it should display
Open now, sir.
a third level report
Third level. Okay, sir.
with some additional data which is related to the purchase order. Okay,
Okay, sir. Inter.
like that, we are going to display multiple levels of the report in the same program. Okay, so that we can display in detailed information about the data or about the report, right? In the first level report, we can display some high level information. Okay, if user
Yes,
want to
sir.
know more details about material number, we can display, we can provide a option to click on the material number, so that in the next level report user will see more details about that materials. For example, material type, industry sector, right, storage conditions, everything in the next level report. If we click on sales order number, we should provide an option to display more details about the sales order number, like delivery details, customer details, etc., right? So this is
Yes,
second type of interactive ALV, displaying the multiple levels of output. First type of interactive ALV is displaying the standard transaction codes,
standard.
so that
Yes,
users can navigate to those transaction codes and do the changes. Okay.
yes, sir.
Second type is displaying multiple outputs, displaying in detailed data, right? So like this, we can navigate up to
26, 20.
20 levels.
20 levels.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Depends on the requirement, we navigate up to different levels of the report. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that user click on the option or the field to know more details about the data. Okay.
Okay,
Clear?
sir. Yes, sir. Got
Installed
it, sir.
interactive report. Let's see how to create interactive reports.
Okay.
There are multiple ways of doing it. There are classical interactive reports using at-line selection. At-line selection is the event for classical interactive reports. Okay, but now we are not going to use that classical interactive report. We are going to use ALV interactive report. For that, we use get user command option in the ALV grid function module and create a subroutine with inputs SciUCom and selection structure. We need to create one subroutine. What does this SciUCom contains? So how can you know,
Yes,
like, what is our requirement? We need to display the next level report, right? Or next level transactions, right? Whenever user click on any value.
yes, sir.
But how can we know whether he clicked on the report value or not?
Yes, sir.
By using
Yes, sir.
SciUCom. This is the system variable. It will capture the user action. If we click on something, it will capture that code, click code, button code. Okay.
Yes,
Then
sir.
we can check this value. If SciUCom equal to click, then execute the logic to display the next level report. Now, selection structure. What is this selection structure? Selection structure contains what is the field user selected. Is it a sales order number or is it a material number? It will contain technical field name, the field name of the field, whatever the field selected by the user. If we click on sales order number, selection structure contains VBELN. If user selects a material number, it will contains Matner. And along with the field name, it contains the value also on which value he selected. He is selected sales order number 100 or sales order number 200. It will also
Yes,
contain value of the field.
values.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So these two inputs we use in subroutine. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So as I said, we have other options too, but first we'll check a get user command. And in and object oriented ALV, we have different options. We have there we use class methods to display the interactive ALV. Okay.
yes, you know,
Yes. Now let's create a program using interactive report. Before that, let's design some requirement. Yeah, we'll do one thing. First, in the first level report, we'll display sales order data. Okay.
yes, sir.
The next level report, we display delivery data of that sales order. Okay. If you click on the sales order number, it should display delivery details of that sales order.
Yes, sir.
Or we'll do one thing. First, we'll see navigating to the transaction codes like VA02 or VA03.
Standard in.
Yeah, standard transaction codes. Then we'll see the output, multiple levels of output. First, we'll create
Yes,
like whenever the user click on sales order number, it should take them to VA02.
okay, sir.
Whenever the user click on material number, it should take them to MM02 or MM03. Right? Depends on the requirement, we are going to add these multiple transaction codes. There is no rule
Okay.
that every field should have an interactive option, right? If user asks multiple interactive options, then we are going to add it to sales order number and material number as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's create the program. Can we use the existing program instead of
Okay, sir.
creating from beginning? So you can refer the previous class for this program. So it will display sales orders by customer number, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I'm clicking on the sales order number. Anything happening?
no, sir.
No, I'm clicking on material number. Nothing is happening. I'm clicking on customer number. Nothing is happening.
Oh, sir. Nothing.
It is not interactive report. Let's make this report as interactive report. So what's my requirement? I should provide an option to click on the sales order number, right?
Yes, sir.
Or material number, right?
Material.
Or customer ID. If they want customer ID also as an interactive option. If they want to see additional details about the customer, then they should be able to click on this and open the relevant transaction code. Okay. Now,
Okay,
how we are going to add that option? For that, we use hotspot. Okay. So for VBELN, in the field catalog, what is the property?
hotspot.
Hotspot equal to ABAP underscore true. We'll first implement for sales order number and we'll add the same to material number also.
Yes, sir.
Activate. Can you observe the difference?
Yes, sir.
It is showing the hyperlink or hand
I,
symbol. So
Handsome.
click
yes,
on
sir.
this. I'm clicking on this. Anything happening? No,
No.
because we did not
But we
implement the
didn't assign
functionality.
any.
We just added that property, but we did not implement any functionality,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
right? For sales order number. Now go back to the program. So what is the option we have to make report as interactive?
Get user
Get
command.
user command. If you go to the ALV grid display, user command, call back user command. You can see this input, right?
Yes, sir.
For
Call back
this,
with the command.
yeah, this is the input what we need to pass. For this, what we need to pass as we need to pass the subroutine name. You know, right? How to create a subroutine with form and end form.
Yes, sir.
That name we have to pass for this input. I think we deleted that. We deleted that importing parameter. You can manually add here by checking the sequence or call the ALV report again to make sure you're going to have all available options. I'm enabling callback program and deleting this. PF status is not required. This is also we are going to use the next program PF status to add additional menu options. User command, I'll keep this enable. Structure is not required. We need field catalog. I'm going to delete the rest.
Field get
Field catalog.
callback program. SACPH.
Now, for user command, what we need to pass? The subroutine. Before that, let's build the subroutine. After the ALV grid function module, write subroutine name here. Form, some name. I'm naming it as user CMD using which one? What are the importing parameters for this subroutine?
SYUCOM.
UCOM
Hmm.
and selection
SYUCOM and
structure.
selection structure. First,
Yes, sir.
UCOM. For example, define one variable LV underscore UCOM type SY hyphen UCOM. And we have a selection structure, right? What is the type
Yes,
of the
sir.
selection structure? You can find it in SLIS. That selection structure, you can find it in SLIS, or you can easily find it in Google. The selection structure is same for any program. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Selection structure, nothing but it is some type structure. Field name, value. I think this is the one. SLIS, SCL field, SLIS underscore selection field. So this is the selection structure. Okay. Selection structure name available in SLIS field catalog. Copy this. Define one work area with reference to that selection structure. For example, WA underscore selection field type selection structure.
So,
That's it.
yes,
Okay. So what does this contain? Selection field structure. This contains the field name, field value, index of the record. If user selected the third record, index will be 3. Okay. We'll see those options in debug mode. Now, what this error? Subroutine should be at the end, right? There is a end if here. That is executable statement. Keep it after the end if. Now, where you need to pass this subroutine name? Here in capital letters user underscore cmd. This name can be anything. Okay, you
yes,
can you
sir.
can name your own
Subroutine
subroutine
name.
names. Now, I'll just add some blank if condition. If lv underscore com is not initial, I'll just add some dummy condition so that we can check the record in the debug mode. Activate this. Now keep a breakpoint here within the subroutine, the form and end form. Now execute the program. Okay, program triggered, execute it. Where we kept the breakpoint inside the subroutine, right? What we created
Yes,
for
sir.
get user command. Now click on sales document number, some sales document number. I am clicking on second sales order number. It is triggered, right? Subroutine is triggered.
Yes, sir.
Now check the
Second.
values inside this input parameters like ucom. What is the code we have in ucom? And IC1 and IC1. What is this code for? When user click on ALV report. Okay. When user click on ALV report output. What is the code? UCOM code and IC1.
IC.
IC1.
Similarly, UCOM will capture different codes. When click on save, when click on back button, UCOM codes will be different. Equal to BU is for save. Okay. Like that, we have different UCOM codes. S5 UCOM is the system
Yes,
variable
sir.
which stores the system variable like button actions. So by using this UCOM, we can say that okay, the user clicked on ALV output record because UCOM code is this. We can check that, right? Okay, if LV underscore UCOM is and IC1, what we have to do? What is the value he selected? By using UCOM, we can say that he selected the ALV output. But what is the value he selected? Is he selected sales order number? Is he selected material number? Or if he selected the sales order number, what is the value he selected? Because there are multiple records, right? So which record is
Please.
selected? Which value is selected? For that, those details will be in selection structure field work area. Double click on this. Double click, open this. What is the tab index?
2.
2 because user
It's in
selected the second records,
second. Yes, sir.
right? Tab field. Field
VBLN.
number 1, VBLN. What is the value?
4.
What is the value we selected? That sales order number,
Yes, sir.
right? Here field name, technical field name
VBLN.
of the ALV report, right?
Yes,
These
sir.
details we have, correct?
Inverted. Yes. Yes, sir.
So by
Got
using
it.
this, value as input, we are going to display next level data, right? For the program, what is the input? Customer ID, right? To display the first level report. So
It's
by
a
using
customer.
now by using sales order number, we are going to display next level data. Okay. Or by using this tab index, you can read the complete record. You have index, right? The record index, right? You have.
Yes, sir.
Now by using this
Yes, sir.
record index, you can read that record from final internal table using read statement, right? And you can check all the values like sales order, item, material, customer ID, and everything. If you read final internal table by using this index, and you can use that complete record as input for next level data. Clear? So if you click on fourth record, what is the tab index?
4.
It is 4, the
Yes, sir.
corresponding value. Now click is working. Let's implement the functionality here. How to implement? If LVUCOM equal to
And and
IC1,
IC1.
then what should we do? Then there are multiple fields, right? There are multiple fields, right? User might
Yes.
click on sales order number, user might click on material number, right? So we have to add a condition here. What we have to do when user click on sales order
Sales
number?
doc.
If WA underscore field hyphen, what is the value? Field name equal to VBELN. Then what should you do? Okay, field name or field underscore name, I don't remember. It seems it is field name. If user selected the VBELN, what should you do? Here I'll quickly show one simple example. Select star from VBAP into table data where VBLN equal to, what is the input here? This one, selection field value, the value inside this selection field. Okay, I'm writing some simple code, okay, to display the next level output. If subars equal to 0, then build your final internal table here once again for the second level output. Okay, for now let's assume this as our final internal table. Then call the ALV report. What is the function module? Reuse ALV grid display. Same. Callback program.
SAREPID.
If status is not required. User command is required if you want to display third level report. This is second level. If you want to display third level report, you have to pass that user command name here. You have to create one more subroutine and you have to pass that name here. Okay. For now, delete this. I'm not building the field catalog just to save some time. But here you have to build the field catalog for this table. Okay. Or let's build the field catalog. How much time it will take? I'll just copy and paste here. I'll just display two fields.
Yes.
You can also use structure here because we are selecting all the table, right? You can use VBAP as a structure. But before building the field catalog, right, we are using the same internal table, right, for field catalog. We have populated
Yes.
already. We have already populated field catalog in the above section. Before that, before populating in the second level ALV, clear the field catalog internal table.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will display the first level report fields also. Okay, that's it. Let's pass this field catalog. What is the data we have to pass? This one. This is our final internal table. Let's assume it as our final internal table. Okay. Enable. Okay. Check. Activate.
Syntax.
No syntax errors. Let's keep a breakpoint to test this. Keep a breakpoint here. So first level report is displayed. Click on the sales order number. Code is IC1. Selection field value. Selection field value is VBLN.
Weblin, LVBLN.
F5. F5. Yes, true. Selected some records. So it is selected only one record because it seems there is only one line item for this VBLN number in the VBAP. Then building the field catalog for the second level report and calling the function
Function.
this one, right?
Also,
It is displaying hotspot because I just copy and pasted the all properties here. Here hotspot may not be required. If you want to display a third level ALV, what you need to do? When you click on sales order number and you need to display some other data, what you need to do?
call you have to create
Create one
subroutine.
subroutine.
Callback is not command.
Create your
Right.
subroutine. Uh, Keep this after end form. Keep this after the first subroutine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
There is already one subroutine, right? Keep your second subroutine after this form. Some user cmd1, one or two, whatever, two, using same
So you come
same ucoms end form, same thing. We'll do one thing. We'll add material number here and we'll add hotspot for the material number instead of taking the same. We'll add material number as third column. We'll make it hotspot. I'm going to add hotspot for the material number. And whenever user click on the material number, will display next level data. So that Matner and if close this, close this. In between this, again we need to write our data selection logic. Whatever logic it is, you can call the function modules. You can do anything. I'm just writing some simple select statement. Matner or anything. Matner comma maktx spras also I'll display. So I'll display text maintained in different languages for that material. Okay.
also
From makt
into table data.
where Matner equal to which one?
WASL field.
Selection field value. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And if what next? Build the field catalog and display the data. First build the field catalog. There we don't have VBLN, we have material, SPRAS and Matner, first column, material, next one, I'll display material text, mat text. So Spras, okay, let's leave it. We'll display only these two fields, and
Yes, sir.
we don't need hotspot. Then what next? Call the
All function.
ALV function module to display the third level output.
Up. Mm. REPID.
Delete all this.
It field.
Before using this field catalog, right? Clear the field catalog internal table because
Yes.
it will be populated with previous ALVs,
Previous RS.
or take separate field catalogs internal tables for each level output. That is not required. Just clear the field catalog.
Yes, sir.
Remove everything. IT underscore MAKT. Let's assume this as our final internal table with the data, with output data what we
Yes,
need to
sir.
display. Check, activate. So now let's keep a breakpoint at first level. Okay, it is already there, and keep a breakpoint at second level. Execute. So first level report is displayed. Click on some sales order number.
5.
So selection field is this 0. So building the field catalog and displaying the ALV. Okay. Next level ALV. Now let's click on the material number in the second level ALV.
Yes,
Can we
sir.
have hotspot for material number here?
14.
Nothing happening. Why?
Hotspot. Will
Hotspot is there. We did not add
come on.
subroutine name. What is our subroutine name? User
User
CMD2.
CMD2.
Activate. Click on the material sales order number. Third level report is displayed. Click on the material. Now it is triggered.
Yes, sir.
Field name is this, and it is selected the data and building the field catalog and
The
displaying the
material text.
third level ALV report. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like this, you can build more levels. Okay. So here how many subroutines we created?
Two
Two subroutines.
subroutines.
One subroutine here, one subroutine here. Right. So
Yes,
if you
sir.
want to display next level report,
We
then
have to
create
create another
one more
subroutine.
and pass it here. Right.
Yes, sir.
So the data selection is as usual. Here I just applied only simple select statements. You can join multiple tables, you can use for all entries, right? You can combine different internal tables data into single internal table. Depends on the requirement. You have to do it that in the each level. Okay,
Yes, sir.
is everyone clear?
Got it, sir.
Okay. So this is how we are going to create interactive ALV to display multiple levels. Okay. Shall we continue with the other option, other ALV option, like navigating to the standard transaction
Standard.
codes?
Yes,
Or do you
sir.
want to practice this and check that tomorrow?
Continue, sir.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do one thing. I'll copy the program, copy this program into new program.
Um,
I'll rename this program. So for example, in projects, if someone asks you to rename the program, what you need to do? You have created program name with some incorrect name, but they ask you to rename the program. What you have to do? Is there rename option available? No, just copy the entire program into new program. Okay,
yes, sir.
and delete the old program.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
copy this, copy everything, including variants. So in the package, save it in a proper transport request, which is already created by you. Sales order report. I'm adding to the existing transport request. Now change this. Uh, Let me delete this functionality. I'm deleting all ALV related functionality, and I am deleting the second level ALV report functionality. So let's keep the first level report. This is our first level report, and we have a subroutine. So when user click on sales order details, what we need to do? We
Standards.
have to navigate to the standard transaction code
VA02.
VA02 so that they
Yes,
can
sir.
update some details in VA02 and they can come back to the report. Okay. So instead of opening VA02 manually, just go to VA02 and entering the sales order number and click on enter and update the details. What they can do? They can automatically navigate to that particular sales order number from here, from ALV report. So it will reduce the manual effort. Okay.
Yes, sir.
For that, we have a concept called SAP memory. Okay.
SAP memory.
Yeah, SAP memory. Set parameter and get parameter. We use these statements in SAP memory. Okay. What is set parameter? To set the value. Get parameter is to read the value in parameter ID. Set value to set the value to parameter ID. And I'll show you what is this parameter ID. So when I click on any sales order number, what should happen? It should navigate me to VA02, right?
Yes, sir.
VA02. It should take me to VA02 transaction code. Here, what should happen? It should automatically populate sales order number and open the next level data. For example, it should open. Looks like there is no sales order available with this number. Let's find the existing sales orders. Or let's check in our report or table for the existing sales order records. Right. So 6. No credit assigned to the credit control area. There is some data issue actually. There is some data issue here. So let's assume. So when you enter the value and click on enter, it should take you to the sales order overview screen, right? It should happen automatically. There should not be no manual interaction. But to populate the value here, when you click on sales order number 6, it should automatically populate that value 6 here, right? In the selection screen, VA02
Yes.
transaction code. How
Yes.
that's going to happen? That's by using SAP memory. Place the cursor on the field, press F1 and go to technical settings. What is the screen field name? What is the screen field
VLN.
name? VBELN. Data element,
VLN
VBELN
VA.
underscore VA. What is the parameter ID?
AUN.
AUN. So this VBLN field contains a parameter ID. So we use that parameter ID to set the value, to set the default value so that it will open automatically. How can you find these details? Field name, parameter ID and data element. Place the cursor on the screen field, press F1 and go to technical settings. It will display the table name, from which table it
Field
is being
name.
populated, field name,
Yes.
search help available, data element and the parameter ID.
Parameter ID.
The alternative, what is the alternative to find the parameter ID of that field? Go to S11. Where can you configure parameter ID? Go to VBAK, go to data element. What is this? This is the parameter ID, right? That is configured in further characteristics, right? If the parameter ID is available for a particular data element, we can set the value for that field. If there is no parameter ID available, we cannot set the value using SAP memory. For example, click on this ER name data element. Is there any parameter ID available?
No, sir.
No, we can't set the values using SAP memory. So we have a concept called SAP memory and ABAP memory. These two used to store the values and read the values. Okay. So
Yes,
I'll
sir.
explain about ABAP memory later. Now you can see SAP memory. So what are the statements we use in SAP memory?
Parameter ID.
Field name.
Set parameter ID used to set the value. Get parameter ID used to read the value which is
Engineering.
already available. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's see how to set the values and get the values and how to call the transaction code. For now, I'll use material number since there is no proper data for sales order data. I'll use material number. Now, what is my requirement? Whenever I click on material number, it should take me to MM02 transaction code and it should automatically open that material number. What is the material number? Let's take one material number. Copy this 49. Enter here. The material number is longer than the length set. Let me delete this. Basic data display. Let me select any existing material. I'll select only basic data. So it should directly open this screen. Okay, the next level screen, so that I can update the details here, and user can save the material. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now when we click on the material number, it will open MM02 transaction code. To set the value, we are going to use a SAP memory, set parameter and get parameter. Now how to set the value and get the value, let's check here. For that, I'll simply I'll write a sample program. Okay,
Sir.
go to see 38. I'll write a sample program so that you can understand how to use set parameter and get parameter. Save it. Now let's set some value to the material number. Any field is same. Only thing is parameter ID will be different. For material number, keep the cursor, press F1, go to technical settings. What is the parameter ID?
MAT.
MAT. You can find this in the data element, right? If you go to material data element, go to further characteristics, you can find the parameter.
Yes, sir.
It's a very important interview question also. How to find screen field details. How to find the details of the screen field. Here, place the cursor on the field, press F1, go to technical settings. You can find the details. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's create a sample program. Uh, so what is the statement to set the value? Or first we'll read the value. Get parameter ID. What is the parameter ID for material number? Mat.
MAT.
For example, we'll define some field here. LV underscore Matner. Right. Okay. Check. First read the parameter, then we'll set the new value. Okay. How to set the value? Using set parameter ID mat field. What is the value? If there is any value, we can set it. or we can set some hard coded value also. Okay, or you can define one variable or parameter. Let me define one variable, type value, some material number. I'll set, let me check the existing material number. Mara, I'll set this material number. Or this one, skm02. Okay, done. And we'll display the material what we set. Okay,
Yes,
set a
sir.
breakpoint. Let me activate. So this is not only specific to interactive reports. Okay, the set parameter and get parameter not only specific to interactive reports.
Yes, sir.
Or let me keep this before the get parameter. So we are setting skm to f5 sub rc0. It should be set. Now we are reading the existing value. Okay, now lv underscore matner is empty. F5, the value is
Escape.
populated in the material number. So it is we are reading the existing value available in the material number. So skm02, right? Value
Yes,
is
sir.
set. Now value is set skm02. Now let's go to mm02 or mm03. You can observe that. You can observe the difference. What is the value available here automatically?
SKM02.
So it is automatically populating
Public.
in all the screen fields wherever we have material number. This skm02 will be automatically populated when
Populated.
you set that particular value. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so that's what set parameter and get parameter. So it is a global memory. You can read that value in any program. Okay, the current value available in that parameter ID. Okay, you can also change that value, depends on your requirement. Now what we are going to do, we are going to set the value which we need to open. Set parameter ID. What is the parameter ID for Matner?
M80.
Native field. What is the field where we have the value? What is the value we have to set from selection field, right?
Oh, sir.
Value. Then once the value is set, we need to use call transaction and transaction code in capital letters. What is the statement? To call the standard transaction code. You can call any transaction. Okay, using this call transaction statement. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and it will call the transaction, but what is our requirement? We should not open the initial screen. We don't want the initial screen, but it will display next level screen automatically. We should not display the initial screen. It should display the next level screen, right?
Screen. Yes, sir.
For that, what we need to do, skip, or there is some call transaction code. What is that? Is it skip initial screen or mm, and yeah, and skip first screen. Yeah, we have to use and. Okay,
Yes,
skip
sir.
first screen. Okay, now let's see how this will work. Activate and if okay, one additional and if is here. Is not required. Pretty printer and activate. Keep a breakpoint here. Execute. Oh, we have to add hotspot, right? To the material number. There is no hotspot
Yes,
for
sir.
material number.
Delete it.
We'll remove for sales document number because we are not using it now, and use it for material number.
Map.
Execute. Click on the material number 26. Field name is material number. Set parameter. We have value here. You have selected value.
Yes, sir.
Set parameter.
Oh,
For some reason, set parameter is failed. We'll see. Next, call transaction.
it is.
26 only, right? The value is set.
Yes, sir.
The
26.
value is set. Okay. The value is set, and it is automatically displaying the next level screen, right? Here, select whatever the data you want and display. Okay. And you can update the data, save, and go back. It is automatically navigating to the ALV report. Next update, if you want to update second material, it will automatically populate that material. 49.
Yes, sir.
Select the basic data or whatever the details you want.
Apple product.
Save.
46.
Then
9.
it will automatically navigate to the ALV report, right?
Yes, sir.
This is how we are going to call the transaction codes. What is the statements we have to use? Call transaction,
Section.
and skip the
Skip
first
first
screen.
screen.
So by using this call transaction, right, you can call any transaction code, and skip first screen is additional option we have. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Call transaction and skip first screen. Let me add it to the document. Okay, what is the set parameter ID? Syntax: set parameter ID, parameter name,
Field.
parameter name, for example, PID, field, value underscore value. Okay. For get parameter,
Let parameter ID.
parameter,
ID.
do we have ID or only get parameter? ID is also there. ID, parameter ID, whatever
PIS.
the parameter ID,
Okay, sir.
field, value into LV underscore value. Okay, clear? So call transaction is to call the transaction code. Not only so, and skip first screen is optional. Let me show you here. We have created a sample program, right? Save memory. Let's call some transaction code. Call transaction SC37. You can call the transaction code, but we are not going to skip the initial screen here. It's called the transaction code, right? Function builder.
Yes, sir.
Just
Function.
like that, you can call any transaction code using call transaction statement. Okay.
Okay,
Let
sir.
me show you one thing here. So it's called the function builder, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
if you want to skip the initial screen and display some function module automatically, what we need to do? First, we need to find the parameter ID of this function module name field. Keep the cursor here. Click on F1. Go to technical settings. Is there a parameter ID?
Yes, sir. LIB.
LIB is there. Now go to the program. Go back. Now set parameter ID LIB field some function module name. So this function module is there, right? So
Sir.
let's pass this function module here. I'll pass hard-coded value. You can also pass the variable and skip first screen so that it will automatically populate this function module name and it will open that function module name. It is populated, but looks like it did not skip the first screen. Okay,
Yes, sir. Just showed up.
value is populated. Yeah, anyway, skip first screen is not working for function module transaction code. You can observe the functionality. You can call any transaction code and open the value by setting the parameter ID if parameter ID is available. Okay,
Yes, sir.
is everyone clear?
Yes, sir. With the help.
So we have created two types of interactive reports. One is with calling standard transaction codes and yeah, and the next level multiple levels of ALV report. If you want to add multiple hotspots, just add condition like this: else if field name equal to some BBLN and set the corresponding parameter ID. What is that parameter ID for sales order? AUN or something, right? Go to further characteristics. AUN is the parameter here for
A
sales order, and call the sales order related
sales order.
transaction code VA02 or VA03. Okay.
Okay.
So value is from selection field only. And add the hotspot. Now I'll be having two hotspots. So depends on the selection, each hotspot functionality is going to execute. Clear? Any questions?